So, Zvika, let me ask you, for the beginning, what is the situation today between Israel and Palestine and the Palestinians? I mean, there is a real negotiation and a dialogue for a kind of a solution, or this is for the attention of the media and there is nothing such a thing?
I think it's something for the media, because since the 7th of October, I think that every Israeli that speak about Palestinian solution, Palestinian state or something, it's mean that Israel lost the war. The war, it's not about the 7th of October in Gaza Strip. The war, it's about if there any chance to live with the Palestinian, and the answer is no. I was with Arafat at 2002 in the Muqata, and I asked him, what you did? You should take what they offered you in Camp David. And he said, they offered me not too much. I said, it's okay, it's 93% from 100. He said, 100, it's zero for us. The main problem between us and the Palestinians, it's not border of 67. It's Haq al-Awda. It's border of 48. It's the establishment of the Israeli state. It's the Nakba, what they calling, what Hamas called that from the river to the sea. So there is any chance for a solution. There is not going to be solution. There's going to be war here until the end of the days. You know, when I entered the media at 1998, I was in the security services before. They told me we need for 2 years a reporter, and then they're going to be peace. It's a joke, you know. There is no solution. The Palestinians now who call themselves Palestinians in the West Bank, in Ramallah, in Gaza, they will never accept the existence of Israel. You know, I asked Hassan Musab Youssef, I interviewed him in Israel. It was his first visit since the war. And he said to me, although as long as you call them Palestinians, there's not going to be solution, because their flag, their fate, it's not to recognize in your existence. So I know it. I lived inside them. I lived in Hebron. I was a roommate of Zvika Yehezkeli. I know. They're not lying. They're saying the truth. When I asked Zvika Yehezkeli, the guy who was terrorist and released and was in the prison and he ran away and now he's outside because of the exchange of terrorists and kidnappers, he said to me, if you want the truth or his brother? I said, I want the truth. He said, the truth, my father and my grandfather is from Caesarea. I want to go back there. All the refugee camps in the West Bank, all the refugees camp in Gaza, all the refugees camp in Jordan, in Lebanon, in Syria, what was Yarmouk, all of them want to return back to their homes. And their homes, it's not in the West Bank. It's in Israel. It's in Sheikh Munis. It's in Jaffa, in Haifa, and Lod. Okay. So there is no solution.
But you have to offer something. I mean, this is rhetoric, what you're describing. Okay, this is talking. So if you don't have something in front of you, if you don't have a proposal, you are not negotiating. So if they are talking about from the river to the sea, and you are replying from the river to the sea, from your side as well, how it will end this thing?
I'm not dealing with the formulas. I'm dealing with the reality. The reality that the Palestinians are not accepting us. So how can each solution that wasn't in the past, like Oslo and any agreement, it was, you know, khida in Arabic. It's like to trick you. It's a Trojan horse in our language. Arafat told me, we're a Trojan horse. We do agreement not to agree. We do agreement to fight. And this is all the agreements in the tribal Islamic society. So even you will reach to an agreement, it won't be peace, because peace it's a term that it's not exist in the Middle East, not because of the Jews and the Palestinians. It's not exist between Sunni and Shia, between tribes in Tripoli and Benghazi. All the Middle East are clashing since the Islam came to the Arab Peninsula in the 7th century. That's it. This is a fact. So now, if you have weapons and abilities, it's become war, like in Syria, like in Lebanon, like in Iraq, like in Yemen, like in all over. This is the formula. So we're not exception.
You described before the will of the Palestinians to return to the motherland, to the homeland, I mean Caesarea or whatever. On the other hand, even though that is not happening, and maybe it's a dream.
Why not? They have the right to dream. They're right. They have the right to demand it.
They don't.
They have the right to demand it. They said, Haq al-Awda, Resolution 194. They had the right. It will be more truth to say, I have the right, instead of saying, I'm giving up. They're not giving up, and I understand them.
On the other hand, I'm thinking from the opposite side, and I mean, I wasn't here the last 10 years, almost. I mean, I came a few times, but I didn't come to the West Bank. So what I see today in the West Bank, it's huge compared to what I left behind me when I went out from Ben Gurion 10 years ago. So if you're expanding and expanding and expanding the settlements, it's not tricking the situation, is not exploding the situation.
Because you are European, you think in the formulas of the conception that settlement is against peace. Take, for example, that all the settlements will vanish in one day. Take the 67 border, like Abu Mazen asked. Do you think there will be peace? Hayat, Shumalak. It's not going to be peace. I've been there. I know it. Even Israel want to give. I choose to be a settler. I wasn't a settler. You know where I lived before. I choose to be a settler. Because to be a settler is to be Israeli. To be in my identity. Because this is the heart of land of Israel. Because you see from the window, you can see the sea. You can see the seashore from here. So Israel is so tiny. We can't live in the threat of 7th of October each year. What do you think about the Palestinians here in the West Bank? They choose Hamas. They want Hamas. And if they will have the ability, they will slaughter my children and me, and if you will be here as well as you. This is. So it's a conclusion of 30 years of being there, speaking their language, live between them. I know it's harsh. I know it's un-Western, live and let live. But what I'm saying now, the West will understand what I'm saying now in 10 years from now. They will talk about Islamic State in French and about Islamic rights in Berlin and so on. So it doesn't matter if it's not a question of settlements or not. It's a question of existence. There is a war. The Israeli, the Jewish, the innocent, the naive Jewish thought that it will be live and let live and they will give something and will be a border and so on. Look what happened since then. Since Oslo, we lost more casualties than in 7th of October. And we gave them. Abu Mazen said, we didn't give nothing to the Jews and they gave us land. This was a mistake. I supported Oslo then, but now I see what happened. 7th of October, it's an outcome of Oslo, of giving them weapons, giving them land, giving them territory, and to fulfill their dreams. And you see what they're dreaming. So it doesn't matter of solution. Solution, it's a weird and strange word in the Middle East. There is no solution. I asked Arafat, what can I give you that you will sign here end of conflict? He said, I live from conflict. What should I sign?
What about Bibi? What about Netanyahu?
What about him? He's wrong like everybody.
No, because you mentioned that Arafat, he lived from the war.
Bibi, the right wing and the right and the left wing in Israel, thinking the same way. You know, when you take your car backward, reverse. Today we have cameras, we have all the alert lights, and sometimes you hit your car. Why? Because you have a blind spot. To the West, all the West thinking, they have blind spots by watching the East, watching the Arab. They don't know what is Islam. They don't know what is Arab. When I did my documentary, Ala Islam, in 2011, and I said the Islam going to crash into Europe, they said to me, you're Islamophobe. I'm not. I don't have any problem with Islam. But now, look what the German thinks. Look what the French thinks. Look what the women of Europe think if they can walk freely in their streets. What's going to be in 10 years from now? What I'm talking now. They will understand. the West want to give. That's what we thought. We will give them and we'll be live and let live. No, the Palestinians want us at the sea. So what should we do? Bibi or not Bibi, they're the same. Now,
I'm trying to understand what is the solution.
And there is no solution. When your phone or your smartphone is spoiled, you go to a laboratory or they will fix it. Solution, it's a strange word for the Middle East. The Middle East is also fighting. There is no solution. How will be solution? I know my neighbors, my Palestinian neighbors. I know them and I know what they're thinking. So
I listened Donald Trump last week, I mean it was Friday, what it was, when he first promoted his idea for a ceasefire and agreement, 2 weeks timetable and etc. So I saw the last article, there are no articles yet on the paper, but his last ideas, he expressed it on the two-state solutions. So it's realistic, you think?
Try it, whatever. You know, I'm not belonging to any party in Israel. I see the right, and I have a TV show in my channel. It's called Arabistim. Only people who speak Arabic allowed to go to my show. If you speak Arabic, tfadal. If you're not, you don't know. So the guys who know Arabic, they're not politicians. We are experts. We're an expert, like a doctor. I said, look, my friend, you want me to give you an Acamol or Advil or Norfen? It's okay, but you have something else. I know, because I lived there. I know them. I grew with them. I live between them, between all the terrorists, between Arafat and Abu Mazen, all of them, all over the Middle East. And I can tell you, it's not going to stop. If you tell me it's a solution, try it. Tfadal. But when the Israelis and the Lebanese signed on the gas agreement before 1-2 years before the war, said to me, "What do you think? Are you object or you are support?" I said, "I just want to ask you. The agreement is written in Arabic. There is a guy in the Israeli delegation speak Arabic? No. So what is agreement supposed to do? It's not an agreement. It's it's a gun to your head by Nasrallah to threat you, and then you sign." The same in all those two-state solutions. The Western world dreaming things about the Palestinians and the Israelis. The Western world don't understand who are the Palestinians, who are the radical Islam, who are the Hamas. They don't know. They can sing and protest in their universities all over United States by raising a Yehezkel's picture. Okay, let them. But they don't understand. The only people who know the Arabs, it's Arabs. So that's it. So solution, you can take your country towards solution. Let's see.
So from your point of view, what is the realistic outcome of these negotiations with Donald Trump for the solution in Gaza, for the ceasefire in Gaza?
I don't know Donald Trump. Sometimes he tweets like this, sometimes he tweets...
but I mean something realistic from the Israeli...
Only immigration, only immigration from Gaza. He said, ask the Gaza what you want to do. Ask them. The Egyptians, they have a huge interest that Gaza will stay as she is, as is. Because now they said we want to rebuild Gaza, to take the money. The Arab world wants Gaza to be inside the Israeli project. It's obvious. That's why they smuggled all the weapons to Gaza. Solution in Gaza? I don't know. We're in the middle of a war. If the war will end, and there is houses there, and the Israeli will let Hamas go back, I think it's wrong, because Hamas will build another generation that's going to kill our children. If part of them will ask to go to third country to be refugees, they are refugees. So it's up to them. I don't see any future in Gaza. Gaza will be a horrible place for the next decade. So what kind of solution are we talking?
I will tell you something, because first of all, you are a journalist. You are coming from this field, and you have quite a lot of experience from the security field as well. So you know that, it's not a secret, that most of the media in Europe, they are saying what about Hamas? That Hamas is not getting its power from the field inside Gaza, but from the policies of Israel towards the Palestinians. This is what is feeding and growing up the Islamic organization of Hamas. So what's your reading on this?
It's again, my friend, the West don't understand Hamas. The West don't understand Islam. The West don't understand terror. They don't understand. They think it's a Che Guevara movement of peace and love. Because the Europeans, I not blame them. I was there as well. I was like them with the peace and love and hippies and smoking and music. When I was 6 years old, my parents sent me to study swimming with Palestinians together. All my life I was with them. So the West don't understand because they think in formulas that does not belong to the Middle East. They don't know what Hamas. Even the Israeli media don't know what Hamas.
Okay.
Even the Israeli army and the intelligence don't know what Hamas. So when the European will know what Hamas. The Israeli intelligence gave Hamas to take out workers to Israel to work in Israel. They thought Hassanah is a cute guy. Hassanah said, "I'm going to drink your blood," and they said to me, "Wow, what a metaphor!" I said, "It's not a metaphor. He will drink your blood because I know he's drinking blood."
So at the end of the day, in a few years from now, a few decades from now, I don't know when, what it will be here. I mean, it will be Zvika and his family, his kids, grandchild lives next to Musa, to Hannah, to this, to that. Israel next to Palestine, or it will be Zvika in Israel and Hannah and Musa will be annexated.
You know, before 2 weeks I was in a traffic jam in Jerusalem, and I just looked for a radio station to hear. And I just stopped in a radio in Amman, not Amman, the music. And they talk to people, what you feel, what you do. And then they said to a guy, how are you? How are you? I'm a Jordanian, yeah. What do you want to say? What do you think about the war? The people spoke about the war. And he said, by his name, I know he's not a Jordanian, he's a Palestinian, 70% from the Jordanian are Palestinian. He said, at last, after 75 or 76 years, the war, it's here. We're not hiding it. Now everything is, all the things that we hide in the stomach went outside. So we came to a point that all of us know what he said. It's or us or them. That's it, zero-sum game. So I take his answer, and I will tell you. It's or us or them. But now, you can't understand it because it's peace. Take 10 years from now. There will be 7th of October around here once. It's going to be. Because what bleeds leads, like we say in English. The lesson that the Israeli, the lesson that the Israeli took from Gaza will happen here if we don't do something. It will happen. Because once they will have the ability, once they will have the money. Yesterday, the Shabak arrested 60 people in Hebron that they plan to do, a real party like in the 7th of October. So how much can you prevent it? In the end, there's going to be the clash. So for your question, what's going to be here 10, 20 years from now? I think it's going to be clash. It's going to be war. But one day, the war will be over. Because the Israeli will understand that the current Palestinian ideology, you can't live with it. You can't live with them. If there is a generation, will be a generation of Palestinian that will adopt the peace and so on, I hope I won't live until then to see it, but inshallah.
My last question. The Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, he is looking to expand the agreements in the framework
Abraham
of...
Accords,
exactly, Abraham Accords. So what do you think that now it's the right time, after what happened with Iran, these 12 days of war with Iran, the outcome of the war, the position that Benjamin Netanyahu is standing, he feels more powerful, more secure to go for it with Syria, to rephrase the accords with Saudi Arabia as well, to bring more countries in the frame?
Yeah, I heard about this movement. First, we have to see what's up, the situation now. We're already almost 2 years in the war, almost 20 months. We still have a problem. We still have a problem in Gaza. We have kidnappers there, Israeli citizens, soldiers. In Iran, we didn't finish the work. We didn't do the job yet because, okay, we hit them. We don't know how we hit them. They still, Khamenei is still there. The awful regime there is still depressing the people. So 80%, 70%, I don't know. Hezbollah, the same, 80%. Beepers, Nasrallah as well. So if you look at the map now, the Shia states and the Shia ideology of Lebanese, Houthis, Hamas, Syria not anymore, but Iraq and Iran, they're not weak enough. The other side of the Sunni, Qatar, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, they're not willing to go now with Israel. Because why? You didn't finish the job yet. Because if you finish something, they can do. If you're going to continue the war in Gaza, I can do with you a peace agreement. Syria is an exception because Syria wants peace with Israel. Can you imagine? Why? Because Julani, he wants legitimacy, international legitimacy. Okay, tfadal. But agreement in the Middle East is the power of the weak. The guy who is strong, he don't need any agreements. Everything is clear. If you finish a war with an agreement, it says that you didn't finish it so well in the terms of the Middle East. When you finished in Gaza, all the agreement is ceasefire and all the hudna, it's nothing. 67 war was obvious. We won. Afterwards, we saw that Israel didn't win in 67 because the Palestinians still, the 7 October happened. We should not go to a peace treaty with Syria because you don't know Julani. Julani, it's a radical Islam regime. For Israel, it's better than Assad regime, the Shia and the Alawi. But it's not. They're not supposed to be our friend. They don't want to be our friend. They're doing us exactly the khid'ah, in Arabic, the Trojan horse, or what you call Hudaybiyah, first agreement in the Islam. It's not true peace. So we don't need the peace with Syria. We need with Saudi Arabia. And if the Saudi Arabia want to join us, tfaddal, but they don't want because the Palestinian. In the rooms they said to us, take them out, but you can't do it. That's why I don't think something will happen now with Saudi Arabia. They will wait to see what's in Gaza. Now all the eyes in Gaza. And let's see if Trump will do his dream to Gaza, to take it to as an American territory. Tfaddal. Okay. Israel by herself can't do it alone. They can't, we can't handle with Gaza. The Egyptian is blocking the border. The Gaza people are starving or whatever, so it's a problem. Somebody have to open Gaza, and then you will see all the other Saudi Arabia and so on. But it doesn't matter so much because Saudi Arabia in the side of Israel, they ask us to attack Iran. You see, they know that Israel is the good side of the Middle East. They know that Israel is the only water spring in this desert. They know. So we don't need any peace treaty to land in Jeddah and to go to the mall. It's okay. We're friend. But I do believe that everything is dependent on Gaza, how Gaza will end. By agreement, it's not going to be end. Or it's going to be military, or Trump will do something.
Let me add one more question. Iran, the day after. The day after of what happened. I mean, you can see that there is a weak government right now in Iran. You see that there are plenty of issues towards the society, and the society, they don't trust the government. But at the end of the day, that means what? That now it's the time to stand up again and to re-establish the way that you are approaching your relationship with the community, reforms? If yes, what kind of reforms or more radical policy?
Israel failed in this war by not killing Khamenei and to hit the regime more strong and aggressively than she did. The problem in Iran, it's not a nuclear bomb. The problem in Iran, it's not the missiles. The problem in Iran, it's not supporting Hezbollah, Hamas, and all this. The problem in Iran, it's Wilayat al-Faqih. We say in Arabic, the Ayatollah's regime. They swear to demolish Israel. They swear to fight us until the end of the day. Actually, we are not their target. The target is the Sunni. We're talking about a battle before 1,345 years between the Sunni and the Shia. They won't forget it. Khamenei, if he will have a bomb, he's not going to throw it here. Maybe, but the real bomb will be on Mecca. They want to conquer Mecca. They want to slaughter 90% from the Islam, the Sunnis. The Emirates, the Bahrainian, the Saudis. That's why they come to us in Abraham Accords to ask for protection. So the problem in the United States is the regime. If the regime still exists, we have the same problem. Without nuclear project, okay, that's it. Israelis should complete the work there, the job. I don't know how, but the Iranian gonna revenge. They're not stupid. This is the Iranian, you know, it's 4,000 years of culture. The first story that I remember from the old Greek, it's the Persian. The story Persian. The Persian and the Greek were the two empires then before 4,000 years. They want to be big. They want to conquer all the Middle East and more. So they're not going to sleep. They're going to work on it. That's why we didn't finish the war. That's why this regime this is the awful regime in the world, believe me. I did a documentary called Salam Iran. I spoke with Iranian all over, in Greek, in Turkey, in Azerbaijan. What they're telling about this regime, how cruel is this? You can't imagine. And I know Iranian. I know officers that defected and came and gave the same story. So we have a problem with the regime. As long as this regime going to be in Iran, even after a war, he's going to be more radical than it was before, with no nuclear bomb. So we're not suffering from this. The Iranian people suffer from this regime. But for us as Israelis, it's not the end of the war. The war going to be come back between Iran and Israel for sure.